So I have a little secret when it comes to my credit score, and it's that I've been able to manipulate my credit score over the past year, over and over again, how many times I want to. And you might say, Tommy, it is not possible, it's set in stone. And I'm telling you guys this because now with the Fico 10 rule, this might not be possible anymore. And that's why in this video, I'm gonna show you guys the 3 main highlights. But more importantly, if you don't believe me, I made a video back in January 1st of 2019 saying that my credit score was at a 631. Here it is right here. My credit score right now is around 631. And here's a screenshot for it. And it used to be like around 745. And I have a credit line of over $50,000. Yeah, it's true. You see, now the main thing is this, guys, because my credit score was so low back then and it dropped from a 745, I knew for a fact it didn't matter. And over 1 year, I could possibly still manipulate it and bring it right back up. And now today, my credit score is at around a 748 or 49, and it's because I know exactly how to manipulate it. And that's why in this video, although Fico 10 is going to change things up, I still think and I still know for a fact there's something you can do to still manipulate it here and there. But the main thing is, guys, in this video, I'm going to break down the main 3 factors to make sure you guys know exactly what's coming for you, okay? Now, if you guys don't know me, my name is TommyBryson. I'm an accountant and I upload videos on YouTube every single day. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified, and do me a favor and also destroy the like button. Now, comment down below, guys, and let me know this one thing, okay? What is your goal for your credit score by the end of 2020 or early 2021? Comment down below, let me know. And if you ask me, although your score is very important, what's even more important is figuring out exactly what do you want to do with a very high credit score. And that's why for me, for the goals of 2020 and late 2020, I actually want to get my credit score to the high 700s. And I know for a fact by the end of March or so in 2020, I should have it by around like 758, 759, because again, I know how this works. But the point is, guys, comment down below and let me know, what do you want to do with a high credit score? And the reason I want it is because now I am finally in the market for a house to buy real estate to then invest and get some passive income. But comment down below and let me know, what is your reason for a high credit score? Now, the basic idea for this video, guys, is very simple. I want to show you guys the simple basics of Fico 10 and how it works. And more importantly, I also want to tell you guys, well, how do you still use this to your advantage and still manipulate it? And that way you get a high credit score, yes, but you also get to do exactly what you want with it. Now, before we even start, guys, I do want to rest your mind and give you guys peace of mind here by telling you guys that all this new stuff with Fico 10 and oh my gosh, everything is gonna change, your credit score is gonna sink down by 1,000. The answer is, well, that's not even possible because it only goes up to 850. But the point is, kind of don't really worry about it that much for the next like 10 to 15 months because again, guys, there's still some lenders out there still using Fico 8. And now we're on Fico 10. It's like your grandma still using like a Nokia over an iPhone because, you know, she likes the iPhone. But the point is, guys, some lenders, most lenders will not adapt this the same day it's released, okay? So usually it'll take them between 10 to 12 months, sometimes even 15 months to actually adapt this. So you're still good to go and still have time to actually correct everything until, well, until late 2020 or around like the summertime of 2021. So no worries here. You still have time. Don't worry about your credit score like going down so drastically because again, we are still in the time zone where we can still adjust it and make sure we manipulate it now so then we don't have to worry about it later on when it's actually get implemented by everyone out there, okay? Now, the first thing I really want to break down when it comes to Fico 10 is, you know, guys, you know, your credit score is usually month to month. So every single month, they analyze it, they send you over a new one, boom, 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 everything is perfect, right? So some people, they go out there and they buy some stuff, they have a lot of credit card debt, and then they want to qualify for something else, so they basically pay it off in full and they qualify for that one thing because again, it is month to month with your credit score, but now it's going to take into account your entire actions for the last 24 months. So you're no longer can be like, oh, I'm gonna spend money here and then pay it up the next month, boom, I'm back to normal. No, it's going to take into account your activities for the past 24 months. Now tell me, what does this mean exactly? So what this means is, guys, for a guy like me, okay, I'll tell you guys my secret right here and how it works. Basically, every single year, what I would do is I would max out all of my credit cards, take the money in cash by using manufacturer spending, and basically I would grab all the money, invest it, and then do whatever I want with it, and then multiply the money, and then towards the end of the year, I'll pay it back in full without paying any interest. Tell me, how is this possible? The answer is, I would get credit cards with something called a promotion on it, no interest for 12 months, and that way everything is fine and dandy. So that's how I went from a 631 to then now, after paying everything off, basically now I'm back at a 748. But Tommy, that's awesome. That sounds responsible. The answer is no. It's very irresponsible. So basically now with the Fico 10, it's going to take into account your entire balance over the past 24 months. So you can't just be like, oh, I paid off last month, so now it should be fixed. The answer is no, 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 no. That is no longer going to work. And that's why we have to come up with a new solution, which I kind of have already. And the solution is basically what you have to do is be paying off your balance off every single month, step by step. And that way it reflects your balance going down over 24 months and not just like, hey, it's been high for 11 months and then all of a sudden you paid off. That is still not pretty good, okay? And that's the main idea when it comes to Fico 10 and how it's going to be implementing the 24-month rule now. And that's why, believe it or not, now in 2020, I'm not doing this currently, although I would usually do this every single year in the beginning of the year. Now I'm kind of like, you know, just chilling, laying back because I want to buy a house. I need a mortgage, so I can't really play around with my credit score just yet. But if you are trying to do this, the goal is whatever you do borrow, whatever you do squeeze out to invest it, just make sure you're paying it down every single month if the credit card has an entire promotion on it, okay? On top of that, Tommy, but what about credit card churning? Does it stop working? The answer is no. Credit card churning is still pretty good. It's still alive, and here's why. Because basically, people that usually do credit card churning, they only do it for 1 to 2 months. So in reality, if you're going to spend, okay, because you're doing plastique or anything like that, if you're going to spend $3,000 to meet the entire minimum spend on your entire credit card with the promotion, the goal is in 1 to 2 months you're done paying it off. So in reality, for this 24 months you're doing this for, it's not really going to bother you that much because at the end of the day, you're still paying it off in full every single month. And that's the goal here. So credit card churning still works. The problem is with people actually trying to use their credit card as a loaning platform, that's when it gets tricky. And the goal for that is basically just pay it off, at least some of it every single month, and that way it reflects a going down trajectory and not just this, because that looks kind of weird, okay? And with the entire platform now, that's not really possible any longer. Oh, and if you ask me, Tommy, should I still take the risk with investing my money? The answer is, hey, you know, it depends on what you're doing. If I'm going to get back 50% of my money, 3x, 5x, 10x to that investment, would I still do it although my credit score will take a hit for like a year or 2 years? The answer is probably, okay? But it depends on the investment and it has to be a very large amount of money I'll be getting back. If it's not worth it, then basically don't do it, okay? That's the main thing here. Everything has to change in this way. Now, the second thing I want to talk about is basically how is Fico 10 going to take into account, well, installment loans and also revolving loans. Well, the first thing is this, guys. Tommy, what is a revolving loan and what is also an installment loan? I don't know why I did this thing, like I'm curving something. The answer is, guys, revolving loans kind of like loans that you kind of keep borrowing. You can pay back, then borrow some more like a credit card. And that's pretty simple, right? Revolving loans, you can pay, then take some more, borrow more over and over. It keeps revolving over and over. Installment loans usually are personal loans or mortgages where you borrow a large amount and all you're really doing over the next year or 2 years, sometimes even 30 years, is paying it off step by step. But you can't really just borrow more from it because it's not revolving unless you're taking out equity. But that's another video for another conversation here. But the point is, guys, okay, Fico 10 is going to take into account your revolving loans a lot more than your installment loans when it comes to your entire credit score calculations. For example, if you have massive credit card debt and it comes to getting back into credit card debt every single month, the answer is that is going to affect your credit score by a lot. Although installment loans like personal loans, mortgages, that won't really matter that much with the balance, but don't get me wrong here, it is still important, so you never want to miss a payment on those because again, payment history is 35% of your entire credit score. And if you do miss a payment, it is going to hurt you. Even if it's a revolving or an installment loans, it still hurts, okay? So the point is, if you're going to be using your credit card over and over again every single month, just make sure you do this one thing, okay? Whatever you borrow for the month, just pay it off in full before they report it. And that way, they always get reported like a zero balance or like a $12 balance. And that way, everything is fine and dandy. But the main thing is if you keep having a very large balance on your credit cards, that is going to affect you a lot more than an installment loan, okay? But never forget that paying your balance off on time is still very important. By the way, if you have a credit card and you got into massive credit card debts and you still can't get out of it as fast as like paying it down in 1 month, the answer is at least pay the minimum because that matters even more than your entire credit card utilization, because again, payment history is 35% and credit card utilization is only 30%. So make sure you at least pay the minimum, because in the end you can fix the balance, but those late payments are gonna hurt you for a long time. So make sure always at least pay the minimum if you're already messed up, but keep paying the minimum because at the end of the day, you don't want to have any late payments. And now, number 3, guys, is that, in the end, everything is kind of like the same thing. So if you were being responsible 12 months ago, 24 months ago, like, borrowing money, paying it off in full, then you're fine to go. It's just the people like me that took major risks that's actually going to take a fall for this. And by the way, guys, okay, your credit score should only take a dip of around 20 points, not like 100 or 200 like the thumbnails they're actually doing out there. But the point is, even I did a thumbnail like that, okay? But the point is, it really won't take a massive dip like that, okay? Unless you're being crazy with it. But it only should be like 20 points up or 20 points down, and that's about it. No big deal there. But everything is still the same, okay, guys? So the same 5 factors that take into account your credit score and build your credit score are still the same, and nothing has really changed with that whatsoever. So for example, your payment history is still 35%. So you have to pay your balance every single month on time, and that way you are good to go. Whether you pay the full amount or half the amount, the point is paying the minimum balance every single month, and that way you keep this in line. The second part is that, hey, your credit card utilization is still 30%. So if you are borrowing way more than 30% of your credit line, well, that is still going to have a negative effect on your credit history. So again, take that into account. Usually I would have it up to 70%, even 80% sometimes, which is very high, but now I have mine at a 16%, and it's going to be at 10% by March, because again, I'm very, conservative now, because again, I am buying a home in 2020 or 2021 early. So everything has to be taken into account. And then when it comes into, for example, your length of history and also your credit mix, and on top of that, your new credit, well, it's all basically the same, okay? So again, if you're being responsible back then, well, in the future, it's still the same thing. So nothing really changes. It's just that if you want to borrow money from a credit card to invest, you have to be more careful and more analytical. So if you want to take out a mortgage in like the next 24 months or so, you have to consider like, hey, is this worth it or is it not worth it? But that's the main thing here, guys. And for Fico 10, to be honest, it's I kind of get it, okay? I agree with them on why they would do it. Does it benefit me a lot? The answer is not really, but I do get why it's important to track somebody's history for the past 24 months and not just month to month, because again, what I was doing is, if I was very irresponsible, I could have gotten myself into a massive credit card debt and then just pay it off in full, borrow more money, and now boom, I'm back in it, okay? And next thing you know, I'm defaulting. But the point is, with this new system, it's going to give lenders a lot more benefits when it comes to basically, hey, let's pick the right person here and make sure they qualify because of the history for the past 24 months. But again, if you're being responsible, you're good to go. Don't worry about it, okay? That's the point here. And guys, as always, comment down below and let me know, what do you think about Fico 10? Is it good? Is it bad? Are you worried? Comment down below. Let me know. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, like this video, really appreciate it. And also, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell so you get notified. And if you want to talk to me one-on-one, uno, just DM me on Instagram, TommyBryson. But when you DM me, okay, just send me a question or whatever it is. That way I can answer you ASAP. And on top of that, if you want to watch another video on how to use your credit card to make money, well, watch this video right here. And if you want to subscribe to the channel now, click my face right here and do it right now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching, and as always, peace.